Alright, so let me talk about poverty a little bit more. You know what really sucks about poverty? Is that you really have to look around you and watch people that have all these things that you don't have. Now, I had all these things. I had a car, I had a house, a girlfriend, a family. But when you're homeless and poor, when you got a home and poor, it's a little bit different. When you're homeless and poor, it becomes a whole nother dimension of what you're looking at. Not that I envy any of these people. I look at them and say, why can't everyone just have this? And why does homelessness have to exist? Why does poverty have to exist to a point where, I remember driving in the winter and looking over, kind of stop at a sign and looking over and seeing it cold day and seeing people just waiting for buses. It's usually small Hispanic women or African American women and sometimes men that are just waiting for a bus in the bitter cold. And I said to myself, why can't they have a car like me? Why can't they have something that would bring them somewhere without having to wait for something that takes an hour to get there, just to drive them somewhere, like maybe a job or maybe, to get food or something. And now I find myself in the same situation. People say to me, oh, why don't you just get a job? Because I don't want to work. I've worked 25 years in corporate America. I've been working since the age of 11. I said this before. And I'm not working for anyone anymore. If I find some odd end job here and there, or even like when I was driving people with the car, okay, I'll do that maybe. But I'm not going to go and get myself, fill out an application and get drug tested and get background checked and all this shit just to get a fucking job in this place for fucking $15 an hour. That amounts to nothing. $15 an hour. Was that $80, $90 a day? You spend that in a fucking hour, man. And not doing drugs, going getting food, getting clothing, getting the things that you need as necessities. You could spend that in 15 fucking minutes. So here I am. I'm at the Target. No, I'm sorry, at the ShopRite parking lot again. Why do I come here even though I have no trespassing thing? Well, because this is the only place that's covered enough. It's raining again today, and this is the only place that's covered enough with a bench where I can put my head down. It's well lit, and there's cameras here. Those things are very important when you're homeless, and you're and you're trying to find a place to sleep. The cameras are important because if the cameras are on, no matter what, if somebody robs you, you could always go back to the camera. You can ask them, no, the officer, or these people robbed me, and we got a camera. Well lit up, because if it's dark, then they can sneak up on you. But when it's lit, it's not great to sleep in. But it works for me. Hopefully, there's a security that drives around the parking lot every once in a while. Hopefully, he won't kick me out. He's seen me before when I used to do the dancing over here with the music. So he hasn't kicked me out yet. So maybe he won't. Probably he won't kick me out. I don't know. He might. I'll fall asleep here eventually on the bench and then wake up before it opens and get out of here. Because when last night I was in a hotel and I had to be in a hotel because it was just pouring rain, and thank goodness this woman came and bought some stuff for me. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much, because she ended up buying a couple of things for me, a crystal bowl, and some chimes, and then she ended up throwing me a little bit of extra money too, and so I had the ability to get a room and some food last night and some food today. A pack of cigarettes and some other things that I need to be out here. Of course, tonight I don't have any of that, so now so that's why this so far this bench at the end of the ShopRite parking lot is There's a little safe place where, as long as they don't kick me out, I can rest and not be so. Because the one thing about sleeping out here, like I was in Tent City back here, but I didn't trust. I closed the tent and I still didn't. First of all, I felt like I was getting eaten alive by bugs. Second of all, the smell, the stench of the garbage, and the garbage that's over here is all. And somebody told me, oh yeah, it's all these garbage. What do you call them? All these garbage cans, whatever they call them, the dumpsters. They get overflown, and then the wind blows, and it blows all the way back there, and then nobody even bothers to go back and clean it. So the stench of garbage back there is just so intense that I just couldn't do it. I'd rather just sleep on this bench. Nobody here, nobody claimed it, so I'm going to be here tonight. But that's what poverty is, and that's what homelessness is. I say, well, why don't you just try your best to try to get something and go back to your normal life and go back to working and go back to doing the things, because I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing any of that anymore. And this is what I'm trying to show people. Because when you're on your side, I was on your side plenty of times, working behind a desk, you're making decent money, being able to afford things that I cannot even dream about affording now, including a car that was ripped away from me. At least the car I was able to sleep in. But I was on your side, and I didn't think about home. I thought about home. I felt bad about homelessness. It's like but you don't feel it. It's like bands like Rage Against the Machine and all these other bands that talk about poverty and sing about poverty and sing about all this thing, and they got people chanting and yeah, you guys are right. Rage Against that machine, yeah. They can make money. They make money off of that. They make money off the songs that talk about poverty. So much money that they don't have to be on here. I guarantee you that none of the people in Rage Against the Machine are homeless and living in a fucking bench right now, right? Because they sang the songs about the people here and made a whole shitload of money off of the people over here. So it's the same fucking thing. They're part of the problem, you see? Because the money that they end up making singing about this doesn't help out. Nobody gives a oh yeah, you're right about poverty, it sucks, and you're right about the corporate greed and all these things, but you're just mixing it because you're just selling an album and you're making a whole shitload of money, and you can go sleep in a hotel tonight and don't have to worry about it. Or maybe some of the money that you donate to poverty, and you go and you find a whole bunch of homeless people and you give them some food and some clothing, but that doesn't solve the problem. That just continues the problem to go on, because if you go and feed them and if you go and help them in that way, all you're doing is allowing poverty to flourish. Get it? Because it's wealth. If you really wanted to do something strong, Rage, or wherever else is singing about poverty, why don't you just let's see, work really hard to eliminate wealth, which I'm sure you have, which you're not going to want to eliminate. And you're not going to eliminate the money that you're making off of singing about poverty. Get it? No? Maybe my mind just works in a different way. Maybe because I'm on this side now. Because I'm feeling the effects of what poverty really is. And what homelessness really is where I can really talk about it. And I'm not making any money off these videos, and I don't want to make money off these videos, and there's nothing I want to do. I don't want to sing about poverty and then make a whole shitload of money and sell a whole bunch of albums to people about poverty. I want somebody to fucking change it. I want things to change. I want wealth to be removed. But you'll never do that, you see? Because wealth creates what you want. Wealth creates that poverty that exists. No, I'm good, thank you. I don't need a taxi, thank you. There's a taxi stand too, so the taxi came here. And I need a taxi. Did you see that I got a bike and a cart? What are you going to do, take the bike and the cart and put it in your taxi? No, I don't think so. I don't have the money for your taxi cab either. Thank you. Don't you understand that wealth creates the poverty? What you admire and aspire to? We think all the poor people one day they're going to be wealthy? They're going to reincarnate as wealthy people? No, that's not going to happen. Poverty makes sure, actually the wealth class makes sure that poverty stays poverty, because the wealth class needs poverty. And thank God for cigarettes, because without cigarettes, I mean, I can do without and I'm lacking. I have a script for medical marijuana, and I've been dying to smoke some weed for a week now. I have no money to smoke weed. The only thing that I will fucking scrape pennies for, and ask somebody, can you spare a cigarette? I can't say, can you spare a joint? I can't go into Zen Leaf and say, hey, lady, I got $1. Can I get a joint? I can't do that. So right now I'm lacking the medical marijuana that helps me with my chronic condition called Guillain-Barré syndrome that causes me body aches and pains. On top of the fact that I was hit by a car twice in 3 weeks that I've been riding a bike now since they impounded my car. So the cigarette at least brings me a little bit of satisfaction when I'm out here. What can I say? Is it killing me? Yeah. My lungs are fine. I bike a lot, and my lungs are fine, man. I actually don't. Whenever I smell exhaust fumes from a car, I usually call it. But this isn't killing me. This is a tree. This is a plant that I'm smoking. It's not bothering me, and it's giving me a little bit of satisfaction. Not like if it was a marijuana, but marijuana is so much expensive. I can go buy it in a store. I can buy 3 of these for $2. I couldn't buy 3 of these if they were marijuana for $2. I could if it wasn't legalized and then taxed and then and made into a salon like it is in Zen Leaf, where you walk in there and say, yeah, I got $10. No. The most you can buy at Zen Leaf is $50. We have the eighth for $50. But can I just buy a joint? No, you can't do that. You have to. But all I have is $10. Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave. If you don't have the $50 for the 1/8 that you can buy, that's all we sell. Then the door is right there. We do have a few pipes you can buy, right? But I don't have nothing to smoke in. Well, then you're gonna have to have $50 at least to buy marijuana. That's what legalizing has done, as opposed to decriminalizing it. So I haven't been able to smoke weed in a week. I had some money last night, but I needed food and I needed a shower. I needed to get some shampoo and I needed to get some stuff to be able to take a shower, because I go through that stuff like I buy it and then I can't use it for 2 weeks, and then it ends up getting lost and spilling in my bag, and then I ended up throwing it away. So. That's what poverty is, man, and that's what homelessness is. And if you think about it, again, there's all these songs about it. There's all these articles about it. There's all these people trying to help. Donate to poverty. Donate to poverty. Give $10, and that $10. Let's see, about $7.50 to $8 goes to administrative costs, and then the poor person only gets $2. You get it? That's what money does. It creates this caste system. It creates this level where the poor will never be, the homeless will never be. Well, get a job then, and you won't. You can get. I can't get an apartment right now. No one's going to rent me an apartment. First of all, I don't have a steady income. 2, I have my credit is shot. 3, I have they do a background check on me, and they find out that I was evicted from a couple of places already, and nobody's going to rent me an apartment. So I don't even aspire to get an apartment. I haven't found anybody that wants to rent me a room. Except for in Asbury, the crack places in Asbury, where you go and you rent a room in there, and there's people going up to you trying to either buy or sell your crack, or they're trying to see if you have money. They hit you for a cigarette every 2 steps. They say, you got a cigarette? You got a cigarette? You have to worry about stuff being stolen, just like in Tent City. I got so much shit stolen in Tent City that's ridiculous, man. Within 2 hours there, I lost freaking three pieces, and me leaving my stuff there was ridiculous, because I go back and it all smells like freaking bug spray. So people in Tent City, they must something about me they didn't like, so they just said, fuck them. So this is what I gotta deal with, man. And literally I do. I have to sleep with one eye open whenever I'm sleeping out here. At least in the car, I used to be able to lock the door. Or in the car, I had, of course, if I get a hotel room, you can lock the door. Out here, you can't lock anything, man. You're exposed. If somebody wants to come over and just rob me when I'm a deep sleep, that's why I never get a deep sleep out here. I get like, I got to sleep. That's sometimes waiting. As soon as I hear something, I'll jump up and look around, make sure it's nothing. So far I haven't gotten my box stolen, but you never know what they might decide to do at one point. Or when people in Sim City come out here and see me sleeping out here, if I'm in deep enough sleep, they'll just spray everything with bug spray. Because that's what they like to do down there, just to fuck with you. So. That's the reality of what it is. And why do I stay in it? Why do I sit in it? Why I stay in it? Because I can't find it. I go to social services and they say, well, you got Social Security money coming in, so we can't. Sorry, we can't. You don't apply for food stamps. You can't. And you don't. You're not going to get any kind of like Section 8 housing, or you're not going to get any of this stuff because you had money and you blew it. I blew it. I don't know what it means to blow it anymore. All I know is that it's not fair that all these people can drive around in cars, and there's a group of people back here that are robbing me of a fucking tool that cost me like $8 because because they can't steal anything from out here, because if they steal anything from out here, then somebody might see them and they get arrested. But in there, what am I going to do? Oh, officer, I have had 3 tools missing. Oh, well, you shouldn't have slept in Tent City then, because, that's what poverty is. It's really a lack of the resources that are needed to survive in this very expensive and very slave-like reality that we all face. There's different levels of slavery. Like I said, there's the field slaves and the house slaves. And all these people with cars, they're all house slaves, except the ones that are driving in with the Ferraris or the BMWs or the Mercedes. They're lower level. They're lower level of poverty. They're lower level of wealth. Because the real wealth, they don't need to come shopping. They have servants that come and do all their shopping for them. They don't need to come to the supermarket. They don't need to go places to get things. They're stuck here. They're stuck here having to deal with what they have to deal with. What we all have to deal with. You want a cigarette? You smoke?
Yes.
You want a cigarette?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll hit you back next time.
No worries, sweetie. No worries, sweetie. You have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
I feel so funny asking anybody.
Yeah, I know, me too. When you ask people, they look at you like you're like crazy. Like, what do you want? Well, you can't afford a cigarette, So no, I got you, man. Don't worry, man. You have a good night, sweetie.
My name's Laura. I forgot your name.
John.
John.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, okay, sweetie. You have a good night, right? Bye. That's what poverty is. That's what homelessness is. It's a lack of you caring. Okay? It's a lack of you caring for what these people go through. What we have to go through now. What I have to go through now. I'm trying to show you what they're going through. It's not easy. It's not for you to judge or point your finger at and say, why don't you get a job like everybody else? I don't understand why you can't just get a job. Because I'm not going to be part of the house slaves anymore. Because I was that for a long time. If I'm going to be a slave, I might not be one of these slaves. Right? The ones that really don't even want to fucking work. But, we get beaten into submission. That's what it is. And you that are not right now sitting in your nice comfortable homes or in your cars, eating your fucking your ice cream at night, watching your TV programs on the big screen. Honey, I got a 57-inch screen today. Oh wow, that's so great, honey. Thank you so much. All you people that are watching, you don't know what it is. And you continue to do the things that you do to allow the wealth class to create and maintain the poverty class to hold them up. So you're just as guilty as the wealth class for creating poverty. Do you get it? Wealth creates poverty, and the middle class house slaves, you do nothing but support the wealth class into creating and maintaining the poverty class. So that you can sit home watching your favorite TV program now as you're eating your ice cream or chomping on your munchies after smoking your big joint that you just got from Zen Leaf. How much you pay for that joint? Well, let's see, it was like $16. I remember when a joint was $1. Yeah, I remember that. So, I got a lot more to say, but you know what? It's all repeating the same thing. It's blaming you, wealth class. It's blaming you, middle class, for creating the caste system and supporting and maintaining the caste system that keeps poverty what it is. And the bottom line of poverty is the homeless class, which I am now part of, that you do nothing about. We don't need your fucking food. We don't need your little donations here and there. What we need for you is to remove wealth, remove poverty, and let us all be equal middle-class human beings as a God, if you believe in a God, would want it to be. Because if you had 10 children, you wouldn't want a bunch of them feeling more obligated and higher in the caste system than the other children, right? So what do you think? You think there's a God out there that's created all this, that wants you to continue this? The survival of the fittest, with the brains of eliminating that? Yeah. God doesn't like you. Doesn't like you at all. Mother Earth doesn't like you. Doesn't like you at all. They both want this to go away very quickly, because you have done nothing to eliminate this. You have done nothing but continue this for thousands of years into a place where you're expecting all the poverty, all the homeless, all of a sudden become rich. No, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. You guys have a good night. Enjoy that ice cream, and maybe you take a latte afterwards, huh?